Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to the full pink moon. The full moon energy is, well, it's bold, it's beautiful. The pink moon was named because traditionally this is when the majority of our ancestors would have seen those beautiful sprigs of color popping up from that cold ground. So the tulips and the crocuses and all the pretty spring flowers. It's a great, well, they're all great full moons. This is a wonderful full moon, though, especially right now. We've got it coming in during the Aries season and rising with Libra. So it's got that again, that action, because again, when you're looking at it, the earth and the earth is working up, the world is moving and going. So we have the action of Aries with Libra joining in. It adds that knowledge and that, well, I don't want to say flexibility because it's really not flexible, but the change, because Libra is the cardinal zodiac for the fall. So it does bring in that change. Kind of an action-packed time, isn't it? Now, the full moon rises on Saturday. So that is going to be when it's at the fullest. However, 2 days before and 2 days after, we do have the ability to work with this energy. It's amazing what we can do. Because we do have the pink and the spring, I do have the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, just because it does bring in that very springy energy. And because we do have that gentle kind of unicorn energy, we do have, this is the Angelic Vibrations Oracle to pair with it. And as a side note, yesterday was International Unicorn Day, so I did have unicorns on the brain. All right, and dog fluff. I've got dog glitter everywhere because I do have 2 dogs. That's it. Let's get in to the full pink moon. All right. First card, Strength. This is the 8th card in the Major Arcana. It's in reversal. The 7 of Wands. The Page of Swords in reversal. The Knight of Swords. Here's your Libra energy. Here's your Aries energy. Oh, thanks, Libra. Thanks, Aries. Now, over the next 5 days, amazing time to get stuff done. Not only do you have the full moon, so you have that very action-orientated, bold energy, you've got that knowledge. Now, please do not become obsessed with this, where you're really running yourself ragged, where you're really hyper-focusing and over-focusing on things that you're trying to do. You do need to take a little bit of a pause. You don't want to run yourself down. We don't need to grab hold of all the energy, all the stuffs, because again, we'll do that. It's amazing what we will do and how we don't realize how our everyday action will impact us, body, mind, and soul. You do want to make sure that you have a good manage on where your action, where your energy is going. The Knight of Swords is running headlong into a storm without thinking. The Page of Swords is, think of a child dazing and like la da da in my own little world. You don't want that very bubbled, own little world, hyper focusing in on self, because you will really amplify the frustration and the aggression, not of self, but of others. We're just coming off, Monday was when Mercury went direct. We still have Venus in retrograde. Lots of turbulent, frustrated energy. So please be mindful of how your actions, even though you may find them just, can and will impact others. Because, well, it will. And they have very little tolerance right now, as many of us do. It's not right or wrong. It is what it is. Use your head and take a step back to think on how it will impact others. If it's going to negatively impact a lot of people, take a step back to try and reformulate and redirect where this energy is going or what you're trying to do. It may be too fast, too bold, too much. Bring it down. And don't be afraid, because again, we have it in reversal, to ask the questions. Pages are that childlike energy. Children ask questions without fear. And it's without prejudice. They're not asking to be mean or spiteful. They just want to know the answer. So ask questions, but do it in a way that is kind. Kind to others, and most importantly, kind to self. Because a lot of times that raging toddler tantrum comes into self, and you don't need that. You don't want that. And just for any parents out there, these do indicate children, young children, teenage children. Please be mindful of how the next 5 days impacts them. They may not be sleeping as well. Your teenagers may be full of all sorts of energy that you don't want them to try and use in, well, they can use their power for good or not so good. So we don't want it for the not so good. Younger children can really be negatively impacted, so please be mindful of that. You don't want either of them to have negative sleep, because again, when you have swirly twirly energies like this, it can really bring on lots of thinking and overthinking and not letting the brain sleep. So please be mindful of that. If you do have children and who are impacted by this, as a parent, you can ask for some help. You can ask the high vibrational beings to step in and help them sleep better and fuller so that they wake up refreshed. The last thing you want is snarly children. Nobody loves that. If you're working with the Archangel Metatron is an amazing choice for this, because he does work with children, especially children who are very sensitive. And if you're sensitive, again, you can mind your sleep, okay? Again, we have strength, which is that inner energy, that self that can be very much negatively impacted by this increase and shift in energy. Plus, yes, Mercury went direct on Monday. However, unless you've cleared your space and have done it frequently, you may really still be impacted by the fallout of Mercury and Venus. And if you have children, they will be. So again, you can ask high vibrational beings to help you sleep. You can also ask if your kids are coming home or yourself are coming home from work, school, whatever, and you're feeling that burn, go take a shower. Have your kids go take a bath. And as you or them are getting ready, ask the high vibrational beings to clear that that buildup that they've acquired or you've acquired during the day. Amazing game changer. It shifts so much. Oh, embracing new. Such a pretty card. Beautiful deck. The new stuff it's coming. Because again, the pink moon, there's a lot of emerging things, not only outside in our gardens, but within ourselves. And it's important that we have the strength and the energy to embrace them. Some of this new, you'll want to act on. So again, be mindful of how you're taking those actions and those steps and how they're impacting you and others. Because others, they're important. Togetherness. We are not alone. I know sometimes we feel like it. However, we're not. And what we do not only impacts us, but other people on this plane and others. So please be mindful of how you're going about these new aspects and how they impact across the board. Love of animals. Oh my gosh. And if you have a pet and they're not as impacted by all the shenanigans of the retrogrades, they are, but not as much, because they're full of unconditional love. It burns away the chaos. And when we've had that frazzle and we're just at our end of our rope, give time, give them love. And now if you've got a sassy that is not wanting to love you, love them. Huge. And believe me, if your animals are in tune with you, they will naturally come to you. Even them sassy pants kitty cats that are like, on my time, they're like, my human needs me. Give them love. And if you have animals in the outside, so I know many of us like to have those little squirrels in the trees or birds, check in on those feeders. Make sure that they've got the stuffs they need to get going this spring. And if you haven't done so, please clean out their water dishes outside, both pets and those animal critters. Because again, something that you don't think about, it's been a winter. Clear out those water or those bird dishes or those bird baths, or any space. Like if you have a pond, make sure it's clean. You may not have fish in it, but other animals will use it for sources of water. Again, it's amazing how little things impact, right? The 5 of Wands in reversal, the 8 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups. Love them double 8s, by the way. The 5 of Wands, the 7 of Wands. Sorry, did I say swords? This is the 5 of Wands. I can't remember what I just said. We have the conflict. This is external conflict. This is internal conflict. We know about it, and we know how it can really negatively impact us. Give yourself that time to acknowledge it and release it, because it will minimize all that you want to try and do. Because again, our lower vibrational self wants to keep us in a very safe and protective box. We start to push out of it, and it will start to really react. We know about it. It still impacts us, though. On to these two. Love it. 8 of Pentacles. Well, honestly, it's the workhorse of the deck. We're looking at that attention to detail, that mastery card. The 8 of Cups is that inner deep reflection. Well, we can see what we need to work on. This isn't a time for deep reflection. This is the time to start to, and it is a start, guys. You're not going to get everything done in the next 5 days, but you will start that ball rolling. You'll get things going. That's the important thing. And those multiple 8s, my friend, when you have that, the angels are telling you that something good is coming forward to keep going. So, hey, keep going. You want to look at how it's going to impact you and others, but you don't want to do a deep dive into getting into how it's going to impact you later on, or if it's ever happened before. No, not that kind of stuff. How is it going to impact people right now? Is it going to ruffle feathers so that you've got that fight? Now, if it's going to ruffle internal feathers, you know what? Check into that, and not deeply. Is it a positive thing where you're kind of breaking that box? Or is it a warning? That's an easy check. Quick checks. Quick checks are good. Deep checks, they're just, it's a sidetrack. Again, it's another piece that your lower vibrational self, your ego, is going to latch onto to minimize what you can do. Because right now we have some really positive external energies in the moon, in Aries, in Libra that are going to help us. So we're working smarter rather than harder. And our ego will hate that. So it will be up to you to check into where you're at and look at that resistance and look at how you can minimize that resistance by pushing forward in a way that's not going to really negatively impact you or others. I want to thank you guys for joining me today and exploring the full pink moon. I hope that you are able to start on something that really will bring you that joy and that happiness, and it will shift gears for you. And like always, my friends, if you did enjoy this session, please give it a thumbs up and let me know, what are your next steps going to be? How are you going to embrace the full pink moon? And like always, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't hit the bell, do the things, all the things. It will help you. And if you're looking for a little bit of extra help, I do have a Patreon community. I have posted a link below so you can go check it out. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in exploring the pink moon, and I hope that this moon helps you get going. Until tomorrow, my friends.